This is Fano with an hour with the Wolf Pack. This is day 26 of my segment, Stepping Out of Babylon, and today is February 16th, 2016. And today I did the usual diet. Went to a local place to get some local produce. I think I'm gonna do a soup the day after tomorrow. Or maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I don't know. I'd have to get some chicken. But anyways, beyond that, I just did a salad. And that's pretty much it. Like my late night liquids. Today, I've been thinking about life. And I don't know if the diet has effect on thinking about it more. But what I've been realizing is what is this all about? Because here I am on a diet, eating as clean as possible, and the world around me is just doing what it always does. Or I guess I could simplify it and say human or the city around me is still the same. And I guess the deep thought of what I have, if I change, stuff will change around me. And that thought is hope. And the bigger idea of it is if everyone hoped and did the best they could do, the world would be a better place. But what I realized is that what's going on is a lot of bad things. And then there is a lot of people that don't really understand how bad stuff is. And granted, I could say my whole life living on Earth has kind of been the same thing. Even when I was a kid, it was just one thing after another after another. And you wake up, then you go to bed, and you wake up and go to bed. And the only thing that changes is thought and hope. And the more you have the idea that the next day will be better or the current day is good, then life is good. But going through life, I realized, because I did a lot of motivation tapes when I was younger, one of the segments of it was to write out who you want to be, who you want to date, and what he made me imagine was that, what would I want if there was no limits? What would the perfect woman be? What would the perfect job be? And then they show you how you could get that. And it becomes very real. And then time goes by and you accomplish some of those things. And I guess some people accomplish all of them. But I guess for me, down the road, I look at it all and say, there's still that idea of what I wanted. what was real. And if I don't have that now, the question is, why not? And then I began pondering that it's all what you focus energy on. I mean, if you want to lose weight, you focus on losing weight. If you want to learn, you focus on learning. And then I think, okay, that's pretty simple. I can do that. But then there's the probability of life. Like, things happen to you, and you have to learn how to deal with them. You get in relationships, and you learn how to deal with them. Like, when I was younger, or for me, it's like, the first experience you have with like a woman is like you want a relationship, and yeah, you'll be in a relationship with someone you think is pretty, but then after that relationship you grow and then you want another relationship, or maybe you don't want a relationship and you just want friends. And for me, it was always like, it's not that I wanted a prettier person every single time, someone prettier than the last person, or someone more awesome than the last person. But I think after enough trial and error, you really, well, at least for me, I start thinking like, what I really been seeking was what I wrote down or what I figured out a long time ago. And everything else is an experience, but it's not what truly will make me happy. And to find that exact person that you pretty much made up in your mind is hard, but then again, the reality is if you focus on it, you can manifest it. Or you start thinking about ways to do things to manifest it. And it's the same thing with the career. You know, it's like you do one step and you get knocked down, and you do another step, and it just keeps on going until you really want to quit. And if you don't want to give up, then eventually you're going to figure it out. And it's the same thing with eating right and being on a diet. It's like you just keep fighting to get better and better and better, and then after a while you just accomplish it. And then once you accomplish it, they always say to make more goals. So if not, then you just fall back. And then I kind of think about my first time when I initially lost 60 pounds. And I think I did accomplish a goal because I always weighed 180. And then I got to 170 and I thought that was amazing. And then I got to 167. I thought that was great. And then I did just kind of like stop. And through all my experiences of how I feel I grew, it did always come to a point where you feel empty. Because they also say at some points, like when you gain so much in one area, you lose track of another area. And I can say through my life, it was kind of like that. I never really had a full 360 of every part that I imagined to be perfect was perfect. And then I also started wondering, well, let's say I had all that. Then what? And that's the interesting thing, how a human being will go from complete happiness to back to suffering just to go back into happiness. And I know there's people out there that say, well, they're content on all levels and all fields of life. But I always question people not really being honest. And I guess that's why with this diet, I say go 80 to 90. I mean, if you want to go 100%, go 100%. But I think in reality, if I was in a tribe, I would always be at 100%. And since I'm in this made up city, talking to people on a microphone, then it's not really real. This life and what we do is not really 100%. But the real truth is, for me, when I eat healthier, I feel better. And for sure, if I drink or eat bad food, I'll feel sick. And maybe I'll get diarrhea or the flu or just feel tired. So there are facts. But life in itself is a big question mark. And we know, but we also choose not to know. And I'll end it with that. And this is Fano with An Hour with the Wolfpack. And today is day 26 of Stepping Out of Babylon. And it is February 17th, 2016. And I hope everyone lives with love and compassion. Because if you don't love yourself, you won't be able to love anyone else.